Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint podcast. Today we're going deep on Millennium Trust Company.
A name that might sound familiar.
Yeah, you might have heard it if you've been looking into gold IRAs.
That's right. We're going to break down what makes them tick.
Especially for those of you thinking about trusting them with your retirement savings.
Yeah, and while we're on the topic of making the right choice...
Don't forget to grab our free checklist at goldirblueprint.com exclusive.
It's designed to help you navigate all those different gold IRA companies out there.
And find the perfect fit for your needs.
Like having a roadmap for your golden years,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So let's get down to business.
Let's do it.
Millennium Trust Company has been around since 2000.
Wow.
And they've become a major player in the IRA world.
They really have.
We're talking over 5 million client accounts.
That's a lot.
And a whopping $55.96 billion in assets under management as of 2023.
It's impressive.
It's not just numbers.
Right.
It's about the trust that people have put in them.
It really speaks to their stability and how long they've been around in this field.
Yeah.
Which can sometimes feel a little bit like the Wild West out there.
For sure. But beyond just size, what's really interesting to me is their focus on self-directed IRAs.
Absolutely.
Oh.
They're all about giving you, the investor, more control over where your money goes.
So it's not your grandpa's traditional IRA, huh?
Not quite. Think of it this way. With a traditional IRA, your options are often limited to things like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds.
Yeah, those are the usual suspects.
Exactly. But with a self-directed IRA, you can branch out
Okay.
into alternative assets like real estate, private equity, precious metals, you name it.
Wow.
Millennium Trust really opens up those possibilities.
Okay, so let's talk rollovers for a second.
Sure.
We know a lot of people thinking about a gold IRA are looking to roll over funds from their existing 401ks.
Right.
So what makes Millennium Trust's rollover process stand out?
Well, first of all, they really specialize in rollovers, so they've got the process down pat. They make it incredibly smooth. They guide you through each step.
Nice.
Which can be a huge relief if you're new to all this.
Definitely takes the stress out of it.
Exactly. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
Once you've rolled those funds over, you've got options.
Oh, really?
You can choose to keep your money with Millennium Trust and start investing right away.
Okay.
You can move it back to a 401k if you change your mind, or you can even cash it out.
Wow, so you're not locked in.
Exactly. You've got that flexibility.
Oh, that's amazing. You don't see that very often.
Not really.
So let's say you do decide to stick with Millennium Trust and explore those self-directed IRA options.
All right.
What are we talking about here?
Well, as I mentioned, you've got your traditional assets like stocks and bonds.
Right.
But the exciting stuff is really in those alternative investments.
Okay.
They offer everything from real estate to private equity, commodities, even hedge funds.
Wow, that's a pretty wide range.
It is. And of course, we can't forget about precious metals.
Of course not.
Which are a big draw for a lot of our listeners.
Definitely a hot topic.
For sure.
So let's zero in on precious metals for a bit.
Okay.
For those of you specifically interested in gold for your retirement savings,
Yeah.
how does Millennium Trust handle that?
Well, they've teamed up with Gold Bullion International, or GBI,
I've heard of them.
a globally recognized precious metals exchange platform.
That's a big name.
It is. And this partnership gives you access to a really wide range of IRA-eligible gold, silver, platinum, and palladium products.
Wow, that's a lot of options.
It is. And it's not just about having choices.
Okay.
A GBI is known for having really secure storage facilities
That's
and transparent pricing,
very important.
both crucial when you're dealing with precious metals.
Absolutely. That peace of mind is priceless when you're talking about your golden years.
Couldn't agree more. But as you mentioned, precious metals are just one piece of the puzzle.
Right. You said they also offer investments in things like hedge funds and private equity.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty sophisticated for an IRA.
Right. And that's what's so unique about Millennium Trust. They're bridging the gap
Okay.
between traditional retirement investing and these alternative asset classes that were typically only accessible to super wealthy individuals.
Oh, wow.
They're really democratizing access to these investments.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty exciting.
So they're kind of like the Robin Hood of alternative investments.
That's a great way to put it. They're making these investments much more accessible to the everyday investor.
Love that. But of course, we have to acknowledge that not all alternative investments are created equal.
Definitely not.
Some are riskier than others.
Right.
It's essential to do your homework
Absolutely.
before diving in head first.
Couldn't agree more.
And that's where our free checklist comes in handy.
Exactly.
If you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all these options.
Yeah, it can be
Just head over to goldirblueprint.com exclusive.
We'll break it all down for you step by step.
Exactly. It's your guide to navigating the exciting
But sometimes complex.
world of gold IRAs.
That's right.
So we've established that Millennium Trust offers a pretty impressive range of investment choices.
Definitely.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Fees.
Oh, yeah.
What's the cost of all this flexibility and choice?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
Transparency is so important when it comes to fees.
Couldn't agree more.
And I think Millennium Trust does a good job of laying it all out there.
Okay, good to know.
They charge a $100 annual maintenance fee for your account,
Okay.
which is pretty standard across the industry.
Okay.
Then you've got custody fees,
Uh-huh.
which depend on what you're holding.
Gotcha. So break it down for us.
Sure.
Let's say someone wants to hold precious metals in their IRA.
All right.
What kind of custody fees are we talking about?
For precious metals, it's an additional $100 per year. And that doesn't even include shipping and storage costs,
Oh, right.
which can change depending on the provider you choose.
Gotcha. And what about if you're holding real estate?
That's $600 per holding annually.
So it's not just a one-size-fits-all fee structure.
Definitely not. It's tiered based on what you're holding and how complex it is.
I see. So they've got different levels.
Exactly. They also have fees for things like transferring assets,
Okay.
terminating your account,
Sure.
other services.
So they've got you covered.
Yeah, it's all clearly outlined on their fee schedule.
Good to know.
Definitely worth looking at that closely before you make any decisions.
Absolutely.
It's super important, especially when we're talking about your hard-earned retirement savings.
Absolutely. Speaking of transparency, let's talk about customer feedback.
Okay.
What's the word on the street about Millennium Trust Company?
Well, we took a look at the reviews, and it's kind of a mixed bag.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Better Business Bureau gives them a B+ rating.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, on the surface.
Right.
But their average customer rating on the BBB website is actually a surprisingly low 1.15 stars.
Wow. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
What are people saying?
A lot of the complaints are about high fees,
Okay.
issues with moving assets around, and slow customer service.
Interesting. So we've got some conflicting information here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a head scratcher.
What's the takeaway for someone trying to make sense of these different reviews?
Well, I think it really highlights how important it is to not just rely on one source of information.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know, check out reviews from different platforms, compare what people are saying,
Right.
and think about any potential biases.
Yeah, some people are more likely to leave a review if they had a bad experience.
Exactly. It's like reading restaurant reviews. You got to take them with a grain of salt.
Right, and look for those patterns.
Exactly. It's all about forming a balanced perspective.
Makes sense. And you can always reach out to Millennium Trust directly, too.
Yeah,
right?
at source. See how responsive they are to your questions.
Yeah, it's a good point. Get a feel for their customer service firsthand.
Exactly.
So let's say after all that someone decides to open an account with Millennium Trust Company.
Right.
What's the onboarding process like?
Pretty straightforward, actually.
Okay, good.
You fill out their registration form, provide the necessary information, and create your login credentials.
Okay.
It's all done online.
Convenient.
Very convenient.
And then once you're in, you can start rolling over those funds and building your dream retirement portfolio.
Exactly. They've made the platform pretty user-friendly.
Awesome.
Which is great for people who are new to self-directed investing.
Absolutely. Before we move on, I just want to remind our listeners,
Sure.
if all this is sounding a bit overwhelming,
It can be a lot.
don't worry, we've got your back.
That's right.
Head over to goldirlueprint.com, exclusive.
Yep.
And grab our free checklist.
It's a great resource.
It'll help you choose the right gold IRA company
That's right.
and make sure you're on the right path to that goal in retirement.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Company overview rollovers, those exciting self-directed IRA options, fee structure, customer reviews, and even the account setup process.
Yep, pretty much everything.
What stands out to you as Millennium Trust's biggest strengths and maybe areas where they could improve?
You know what really impresses me is their dedication to really empowering investors. It's not just about holding your hand.
Right.
They're giving you the tools and the platform to really take control of your own financial future.
I like that.
And I think that's really clear in the wide range of investment options they offer.
Yeah, that diversity of choices.
Exactly, from the traditional stuff to the more alternative stuff. That's a huge strength.
It's like they're saying, hey, we trust you to make smart decisions about your retirement.
Exactly. And they back it up with that smooth rollover process and a platform that's designed to be easy to use.
So they put their money where their mouth is.
You could say that. Now, of course, in terms of potential areas for improvement, those mixed customer reviews definitely raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, those were a little concerning.
Inconsistency in customer service can be a red flag,
Right.
and it's something potential investors should definitely be aware of.
Good point.
It might be worth reaching out to their customer support,
Yeah.
getting a feel for how responsive they are.
Yeah, before you commit.
Exactly.
Smart move. It's always good to test the waters.
Absolutely. And I think it's also crucial with any financial decision like this to talk to a qualified financial advisor.
Couldn't agree more.
They can give you personalized guidance
Right.
based on your own circumstances and goals.
Yeah. Don't just rely on online research or podcasts like ours.
Right, as informative as we try to be.
Exactly. Financial advisors bring that human element and expertise that you can't really get online
That's right. They can help you navigate all the twists and turns of retirement planning.
and make sure you're on the right track. So to sum it up, Millennium Trust Company seems like a solid option
Yeah.
for people who are comfortable with self-direction
Mm-hmm.
and want a wide variety of investment choices.
Definitely.
But potential investors should definitely do their homework, weigh those fees, and pay close attention to those customer reviews.
Absolutely.
But once again, for our listeners who are just starting their Gold IRA journey,
Yes.
head over to goldirblueprint.com/exclusive
Don't forget.
and download our free checklist.
It's your one-stop shop.
It'll help you make informed decisions about your golden years.
It's like having a personal guide right in your pocket.
Now let's shift our focus specifically to gold IRAs.
All right.
What are the advantages of choosing Millennium Trust Company for this particular type of retirement account?
Well, as we mentioned earlier, their partnership with Gold Bullion International is a huge plus.
Right, GBI.
Yep, they're a global leader in precious metals trading and storage.
Big name.
They are known for those super secure facilities and that transparent pricing.
Yeah, that's important.
It is. This partnership gives Millennium Trust customers access to a wide selection of IRA-eligible gold products,
Okay.
from those bullion bars to coins,
Uh-huh.
and it ensures that their precious metals are handled with the utmost care and security.
That's reassuring, especially for folks who are new to investing in precious metals.
Definitely. It's good to know your gold is in safe hands.
Absolutely. And beyond the security aspect, Millennium Trust has really streamlined the process
They have.
of setting up and managing a gold IRA,
Yep.
making it easy to roll over funds from an existing retirement account.
Uh-huh.
Buy gold within your IRA and track your investments.
They've taken what can be a pretty complex process
Yeah.
and made it easy for the average investor.
That's a big win for people who might be a little intimidated by the whole gold IRA thing.
Absolutely. It sounds like they've really tried to simplify things and make it less daunting.
I like that.
Yeah.
So they've taken away some of those barriers.
They have. And another thing that I think is really important is their emphasis on transparency. When it comes to pricing and fees,
It makes sense.
they're upfront about the costs involved, which
Mhm.
helps you make more informed decisions.
Transparency is key in the financial world.
Couldn't agree more. Things can get confusing.
Absolutely.
Millennium Trust lays it all out there on their website.
Good.
You know exactly what to expect.
That's great.
Yeah.
So if we connect all of this back to the big picture,
Okay.
what does it mean for someone who's considering Millennium Trust Company for their gold IRA?
Well, I think the key takeaways are this. Millennium Trust Company offers a really robust platform for self-directed IRAs, including gold IRAs. They have a good reputation, a user-friendly platform, and a straightforward process for setting up and managing your account. Their partnership with GBI adds that extra layer of security and trust when you're investing in gold.
Makes sense.
However, as we talked about, those fees and those mixed customer reviews are definitely things to consider.
Right.
And it's crucial to do your homework
Absolutely.
and maybe even talk to a financial advisor.
Yeah. Good advice. So as we've explored in this deep dive, Millennium Trust Company has a lot to offer potential investors,
Definitely.
especially those interested in gold IRAs.
Sure.
They've carved out this unique space in the market
Yeah.
by making alternative assets more accessible. And their commitment to self-direction is really commendable.
Yeah, they've really made a name for themselves in the self-directed retirement world.
But as with any financial decision, it's essential to weigh the pros and cons.
Absolutely.
And speaking of making informed decisions, I can't stress this enough.
What's that?
If you're feeling lost in the gold IRA maze,
Yeah, it can be confusing.
head over to goldirablueprint.com for exclusive
That's right.
and download our free checklist.
It's a great resource.
It'll walk you through all those key factors to consider
Yeah.
when choosing a gold IRA company,
That's right.
from fees and storage options
Whoa.
to customer reviews and investment choices.
It's invaluable, especially for those who are new to precious metals IRAs.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked a lot about self-directed IRAs
We have.
and the control they give you over your investments.
Right.
But what if you're someone who prefers a more hands-off approach? Is Millennium Trust Company still a good option for them?
That's a great question, and it brings up a really important point.
Okay.
While Millennium Trust is great at giving you the tools and the platform for self-direction,
Yeah.
they don't actually give you investment advice.
Oh, so they're not telling you what to buy or sell.
Exactly. They act as a custodian,
Okay.
safeguarding your assets and making sure those transactions go smoothly.
Right.
But they're not going to tell you what to do with your money.
So if you want guidance on specific investments, you'd need to look elsewhere.
Exactly. They're all about empowering you to make your own decisions.
Okay.
But they're not going to hold your hand through the process.
Gotcha.
You either need to have a good understanding of those investments yourself,
Right.
or work with a financial advisor who can provide that expertise.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
It really emphasizes that you need to know what you're getting into.
absolutely, especially with those self-directed accounts.
Right.
Where you're the one calling the shots.
It's your retirement,
Exactly.
your money,
Uh-huh.
and ultimately your responsibility.
That's right.
So for our listeners who might be on the fence about a gold IRA
Okay.
or self-directed investing in general,
Yeah.
what advice would you give them?
Hmm.
What should they consider before jumping in?
I think the most important thing is to be an informed investor.
Okay.
Don't just jump into something because of hype or what you hear from others.
Right.
Take the time to understand your own risk tolerance,
Uh-huh.
your investment goals,
Okay.
and your overall financial picture.
Right. Get that big picture view.
Exactly.
Right.
Does a gold IRA actually fit with your long-term objectives?
Good question.
Are you comfortable making those investment decisions on your own?
Hmm.
Or would you prefer to have some guidance from a financial advisor?
Yeah, those are all crucial questions to ask yourself. All about making sure those investments align
Yeah.
with your personal circumstances and your long-term goals.
That's right. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Never.
If something sounds too good to be true,
Yeah.
it probably is.
Right.
Do your research.
Absolutely.
Read those reviews.
Uh-huh.
Reach out to the companies directly.
Good advice.
And if you're still not sure, seek professional advice from a financial advisor you trust.
Couldn't agree more. Knowledge is power.
It really is,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to your financial well-being.
That's right.
Well, I think we've covered pretty much everything there is to know about Millennium Trust Company,
I think so.
at least from what we found in our research.
Yeah.
They're a reputable company with a solid focus on those self-directed IRAs,
They are.
a wide range of investment options, and a streamlined rollover process.
That's right.
And that partnership with GBI makes
Yes.
them a really good option for anyone looking to add gold to their retirement portfolio.
They've definitely carved out a niche for themselves in the self-directed retirement market.
They have.
Yeah.
However, as we discuss those fees, the mixed customer reviews, and their hands-off approach to investment advice
Right.
are all things potential investors need to think about carefully.
It all comes down to making an informed decision that works for you and your goals.
Exactly. So to wrap up this deep dive into Millennium Trust Company,
Okay.
I want to leave you with one final thought.
All right. I'm listening.
We've talked a lot about the technical stuff, the fees, the investment options, the rollover process.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground.
But beyond all that,
Mm-hmm.
there's a bigger question here.
What's that?
It's about control.
Mm.
Control over your financial future,
Okay.
control over your retirement savings,
Yeah.
and control over the decisions that shape your life.
I like that.
Millennium Trust Company, with their focus on self-directed IRAs,
Right.
empowers you to take that control.
Yep.
But with that power comes responsibility.
It does.
It's up to you to educate yourself,
Uh-huh.
make informed choices,
Yep.
and seek guidance when you need it.
Absolutely.
It's a journey, not a destination.
That's a great way to put it.
So as you continue to explore gold IRAs and other retirement investment options,
Yeah.
remember the importance of taking charge of your financial destiny.
Couldn't agree more.
Do your homework, ask questions, and never stop learning.
Great advice.
And of course, if you're looking for a handy guide to help you navigate the world of gold IRAs,
Yes?
don't forget to visit goldirblueprint.com for its exclusive
That's the place to go.
and download our free checklist.
It's packed with great information.
It'll help you make the best choices for your golden years.
That's what it's all about.
Until next time, happy investing.